Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We're live in Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM Channel 158, or any of the terrestrial radio stations across the country where you can find VSiN in this hour. I promise we're going to get to Week 1 betting systems. I talked about that before the break at the end of the last hour, including a 16-0 straight-up angle, 15-1 ATS since 2013. Paul Stone in 30 minutes, his best bets for Week 1. But we do have a lot of news to get to. That has it has all surfaced basically in the last half an hour or so. In the NFL, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski named Dylan Gabriel their number 2 quarterback this year. So other reports chiming in then, Shedeur Sanders made the team, and he is going to be on the roster as an emergency quarterback or 3rd overall on the roster. What do you think?
Care to take back your comments on you should take futures on him after the first game against Carolina? Or you still think there's a chance for him here?
Oh, I think there's a path for him to play.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, don't you?
Yeah. Well, it could be like Tebow again. The depth chart doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Well, wasn't Tebow 5th on the depth chart? And then, well, wait a second, he started 4th? Wait a second, what happened here?
And oh my God, he's winning all these games. And
yeah.
No, he wasn't actually winning all those games. The team was winning games around him.
But it's also, he is a popular player and jersey sales, and I think maybe when they're out of it, that'll be enough of Flacco and put the kid in. But certainly Gabriel's had some good moments here in the preseason as well.
I will tell you, the guy that I wish was drafted by a different team for specific reasons, such as fantasy or maybe props. I'm not going to say Offensive Rookie of the Year because the tight end's never won the award, but Harold Fannin, who has shined actually in the preseason as well. Mm-hmm. That dude was like one of the best. No, this is no hyperbole. Numbers don't lie, right? He put up the best year ever for a tight end last year in career overall, had the best numbers. Like he can play. Doesn't matter that he didn't go to Alabama or Oregon or any, of the big boys. That guy can be a player, I think. And now he's just like, how does that work out behind Njoku? And then with the rotating door, you think at quarterback here with the Browns. Another thing, I'd like to see Kevin Stefanski be the head coach of an organization that actually gets it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's won the award twice. The guy can coach.
Did you see the Mike Florio tweet after they announced this? Well, don't forget about Deshaun Watson. He'll be in the mix too. He should never play another game or down for the Browns. That's it.
No, this has got to be.
I mean, I don't care what he's cleared after the injury and what happened. It's just that's just get away from that ridiculous contract and what you did and made an egregious error and just move on from it and just take your medicine.
Where does that one rank?
It's an all-time blunder.
It's tough for me to say anything was worse than the Herschel Walker trade. Mm-hmm. But that one, that's close.
I can defend that, though. The Vikings thought they were going to win the Super Bowl because he was so good, and I think he had 200 yards rushing in the first game, and it just
I don't recall. Were the Vikings close? Were they that good back then?
Oh, yeah. With that defense, yeah. Dolman, Millard, yeah.
Okay.
Browner, they had a good defense, and they thought this guy was the piece.
He's going to be the okay.
Yeah. But they also were bozos with Mike Lynn, who made the trade. Wait a second. If the Cowboys cut the players that were sending them, they become draft picks? What? They thought there was no way they were going to do it. So then that turned into what they had in starting the dynasty.
Pure insanity.
Yes. But to give that guy all that money and guaranteed and what he was going through and what he did off the field, and he hasn't been the same, not even close to the guy we saw in Houston as well.
Remind the audience of this. Tommy Cutlitz was cut today by the Giants.
Yeah. FTM@vsin.com, the email, or you can tweet at us as well. Do you have a guy who cost you a lot of money, or maybe you lost a contest and the guy never did anything again, name the sport, whatever it was? It's because Tommy DeVito was cut today. Will he ever start another game? Maybe, but highly unlikely. Now, I know they have a good quarterback room, but this guy got me on that Monday night game and beat Jordan Love and the Packers and knocked me out of Survivor, and that was his 15 minutes, forget about it, the crazy agent and everything. But that was up there. It's a guy. I mean, that guy.
Hey, give me the Italian grinder. Hey, all right.
The guy's making appearances, right? Sopranos, come on down. Tommy signing autographs,
wearing the big over-the-top coat, the gold chains.
Yeah, nothing again. Never heard from again. But he just had that good moment, that good second half. In that 15 minutes, and that was it. So
by the way, to remind people again, this is a couple years ago, That's Circa Survivor you're talking about, and that was your final entry. You were down to what, the final 30?
I think 20.
Was it final 20?
24. I think once I wasn't the only one on them, but I think after that game we were down to like 16 or something.
And the Giants stunk.
Something, yeah.
And this is like, we're talking about a Packers team, the second half of that year when Jordan Love took the world by storm. Hell, what was it, 2 weeks before this? On Thanksgiving, they went to Detroit and manhandled the Lions, who were awesome that year.
Yeah.
And had the Niners dead to rights in the NFC title game.
Beat Mahomes at home. Yep.
And that Packer team lost to them on Monday night. And Jordan Love couldn't do anything with the ball.
I know, yeah. So that's a good one. If you got a guy, as a player, like as a fan, it's Gary Anderson. That comes up once a week, the 98 Vikings, 15-1. The guy didn't miss the kick the whole year. And he misses the kick that would have put him up 10 with 2 minutes left in the NFC title game. And then Atlanta wins it.
That'll never
overtime,
be matched.
No, but this is one. I mean, it's got to be Tommy DeVito.
I'll give you
a guy who just knocked you out of a contest or cost you some money, and then the guy just had a out-of-body experience, never did anything again in his career.
I wonder if people were betting against Linsanity many years ago, somehow. They weren't buying it.
How long was that?
Probably 2012,
months?
a month and a half at least, probably.
Yeah.
Or
It
went
was
on?
unbelievable. He's appointment viewing.
Yeah.
What he was doing. Took over the Garden. Yep. So the Gabriel news.
My guy, by the way, is
you have one?
my guy is just as a fan is John Calipari.
Okay, good one.
He absolutely had no idea what he was doing as a head coach at Kentucky.
Right, and all that talent.
No clue what he was
do it.
doing every single year.
Bledsoe, Cousins couldn't make the Final Four.
No idea. Against Wisconsin, 3 straight trips, goes down to Karl Anthony Towns, easy basket. They get the lead.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, total mismatch down below. Wisconsin had no answer. Let's not go back to him for the rest of the game. It's just like stuff like that. He wouldn't play Shea Gilgeous-Alexander over Quade Green, like stuff like this. It happened every single year. Like he can recruit. He can bring in more talent than anybody in history, but he has no idea what to do with the talent once they're there. He should have won probably 5 titles in like 15 years.
Yeah. There's a fantasy angle to that, too, when we're talking about this topic. Remember that run Billy Volek and Drew Bennett were on?
Sure, I do. Bennett, I had Bennett that year.
The guy threw for like 400 yards in every the last 3 games of the season. Like, where did this come from?
This is no joke. This is I had ankle surgery, and I'm in a cast. My fantasy football team that I drafted, I think in 2018, Mahomes' first year, it was 14-0. And I made the title game, and I had everybody that I drafted. I hardly had anybody from the waiver wire. I said this was a league that was going on for like 10 years. I had the highest scoring team of all time in the league. I had to go back to the hospital the Monday that the Broncos played the Raiders because my blood pressure was so high because I knew I was going to lose the game. I had to have Philip Lindsay do something for the Broncos in that game, and he got hurt right away and did nothing.
Oh, no.
And I lost the title game and finished 14-1 to a team. This owner, credit to him, he had nothing but waiver wire pickups and made the title game and beat me, and I was undefeated. My wife took me back in my cast to the hospital, wasn't feeling hot. Hey, Mitch, your blood pressure is 165 over 130. It's because of fantasy football.
Oh, God.
And what I went through, I did not want to. I wanted the undefeated season.
Sure, absolutely. That's tough. That is tough, my friend.
Sickening.
Yep. Evaldi out for the year. Big blow to the Rangers. And this is kooky. The schedule's already out for next year. Opening day is March 25th. The earliest opening day other than international games, the Giants will take on the Yankees.
So did they announce where?
I think it's at Yankee Stadium.
So no fear of like bad weather?
Yeah, right. And then, I like this, though. The season will end September 27th. That's the earliest, I think, since going way back. The Yankees and Mets will play in the Bronx on 9/11, marking the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
Well, they got that right then.
They got that right. You're right. They're bringing back, as I know it was being renovated, they're bringing back the Field of Dreams game, August 13th through the 16th.
They should. They should probably have that every single year.
Phillies will play the Twins. There's a game in Mexico City. Final day of the regular season, September 27th, earliest since 2020. 5 games are scheduled March 27th, and all 30 teams play the following day.
All right, so is that it now? We're going to pour dirt on the grave for the Texas Rangers this year? Evaldi out?
Yeah, that's probably it now, yep.
They have 29 games left. They have the 11th hardest schedule remaining. Among the difficult opponents, they have 6 against Houston, 3 against the Brewers, 3 against the Mets. Now, they do have some cupcakes in there as well, but that is a massive blow. And now you have to be...
Is that now 4 straight losses for DeGrom? Wasn't his fault. I mean, he got shut out.
I think at least 3. Was it 4?
Yeah, so...
Maybe?
Giants host the Yankees. Sorry about Thanks. Yep, thank you.
Okay. I think that makes... Probably in late May or March, that probably makes a little bit more sense, I'm guessing.
Right, yeah.
All right.
Yep. So a lot of news today. Good. And Kelsey and Swift get engaged. Your thoughts?
So, you know our buddy Chris, who bets every single wide receiver prop under for the yards for the year, and he's won every year since books legalized sports betting across the country?
Oh, apparently he's lost some weight, and Kelsey's probably his final year, ready to go.
He reached out to me today and said, I love it even more now under with Kelsey. There's a good, come on, what are the chances here that Taylor would actually call it off during the season? The guy would be absolutely ruined. Right?
Not bad.
How about that for an angle?
He makes so much money. Yeah,
of course.
Sure. Yeah.
He'll be devastated.
Bad. Sure.
He'll never be in this spot ever again.
Could be. I know.
No man will ever be in that spot ever again.
I can't. I know. Well, remember the story with the last gal? They would always go Dutch.
Yeah.
She's like, what gives here? You play in the NFL.
Yes.
I gotta. Come on. VSiN exclusive betting splits cut through the noise, pulling real-time data straight from Circa and DraftKings. Track the percentage of bets and handle on every game across every major sport. You can make sharper, more informed bets. Start your edge today, just $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe. You all love it. Get it now, $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe.
I promise up next an angle that is 16-0 straight up, 15-1 ATS, Week 1 betting systems, college football since 2013. Next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome in. Coming up in 15 minutes, professional sports bettor Paul Stone on the program. 3 of his best bets for Week 1. Pauly included in his best bets 2 marquee games on the schedule, and he has an opinion on both of them. So here we go with Week 1 betting systems, Week 0 and Week 1. I'll include last week. Steve Makinen writes about this every single year and every week during the football season and every other sport pretty much at vsin.com. But here's the angle that is 16-0 straight up, 15-1 ATS since 2013, when a huge favorite, and the number has to be 37.5 points or more, in an FBS versus FBS matchup. The favorite is 16-0 and 15-1 ATS. The average score, 57.4 to 8.3, and the average point spread was 40.1 points. Ohio State was the 1 ATS loser last year. They closed as a 48.5 point favorite against Akron. They won 52-6. Here are the teams that fit the bill this week. Penn State laying between 44 or 45 against Nevada. Obviously a gigantic number. Georgia is 39-ish against Marshall. And Ole Miss was 37.5 against Georgia State, but they no longer qualify. Some money here on Georgia State. The number's down to 35 or 36. So keep your eye on that game if you want to follow this stuff. The other 2 to monitor would be Michigan. They're about 35-point favorites over New Mexico. And USC laying a similar number against Missouri State. But you figure, okay, yeah, they're going to win those games. Duh, they're going to be 16-0. But 15-1 ATS?
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff. Those are excellent.
How about home field advantage? He points out it means a lot in early season games between unfamiliar Power 4 non-conference foes. The hosts in these matchups have gone 28-16 straight up and 25-15-4 ATS. That is 63% over the last decade plus. So 7 hosts this week fit the bill. And you like Baylor.
I do. I think the wrong team's favored.
Okay.
And I think Baylor can win the Big 12.
Georgia Tech at California.
Cal's a dumpster fire.
Yep.
Sad what's going on with that program. Yep.
Texas at Ohio State. Buckeyes laying 1.5. UCLA plus 6.5 against Utah. Florida State plus 13.5 against Alabama. Clemson minus 4 against LSU. And North Carolina plus 3.5 against TCU. That's one of the angles there. Again, all available at vsin.com. Here's one more. Small favorites win the early neutral field showdowns between non-conference Power 4 foes, laying a touchdown or less. They're 14-5 straight up, 13-6 ATS since 2013. The one game that fits as of right now is Nebraska, 6.5 against Cincinnati. And he also points out, watch out for South Carolina against Va Tech. Monitor that number.
Pretty good game. Good appetizer Sunday before Miami and Notre Dame.
I agree.
That's a good game. Yep.
I'm intrigued by the Nebraska-Cincinnati game.
Sure.
Some people have made the point that here at VSiN, actually, that Cincinnati was worth a gamble to win the Big 12 at a rather large number. And then you've heard the narrative now on Nebraska all year long about this is the year that with Matt Rule being year number 3, they're finally going to go over that win total, something they haven't been able to do in like almost 10 years. Been a long time. Can they get back to national relevance? And I'll give you one more trend here, Pauly. Non-conference games between group of 5 opponents involving home underdogs in week 0 or 1 have been explosive, particularly when not expected to be. As Mackinnon points out, since 2013, when totals on these games involving home dogs or pick'ems are 64 or less, the results are 23 overs and 9 unders, 72%. So group of 5 games with totals of 64 or fewer points, and the host playing as a pick'em or a dog that qualify. Boise State against South Florida. Wyoming plays at Akron. UNLV at Sam Houston State. Temple at UMass. Is that UNLV Sam Houston State total now a little bit, I know it's still below the 64 threshold here, but it opened 58.5.
A tough one.
And now touching like 63.
Yeah, that's a tough one to go under with that one and what we saw that first week. Yeah, Mackinnon did a great job. It's in our NFL Betting Guide 2.0 that dropped today. 7 successful Week 1 NFL betting systems, just a few that I'll share, and this one's phenomenal. System 1, divisional home dogs are 80% in Week 1 since 2009.
I buy it.
Cleveland, Atlanta, Seattle, and Chicago would be your plays. 24-6, Week 1 since 2009.
Do you like any of those games
strong.
anyway? I was actually going to make the case for a couple of other sides there. You like the Bears?
Yeah.
I like the Seahawks a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that. I wouldn't be surprised Atlanta either. Atlanta swept them last year. And Tampa couldn't get any stops. And Penix is better than Cousins.
You know what? A guy that you bet for Coach of the Year, I thought about this earlier today because we now have first coach fired odds as well.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of you on Raheem Morris. What?
Well, if they win.
I get it.
Yeah.
Because you don't think he's great, but if they win like 10, 11 games...
I think he's a lousy coach,
yeah,
but
okay.
There's a path there where they could win 11 games.
What if the Falcons fall on their faces this year?
Boy.
I think that guy...
It's got to be problems from the get-go.
Has to be.
Yeah. Can't fix the defense.
Penix doesn't look good.
Yeah. That's tough, though. You know, I think it's an overreaction. People are going crazy with McDaniel, what his price is at, but that's...
Right.
Okay, that's fair. System 2. Home teams priced in the range of +3 to -3 in Week 1 non-conference games. 3-17-1 ATS since 2015. That's you play against Jacksonville and the Rams.
Well, I already played against the Rams.
Yeah.
Kills me to say that because I have so many futures on them, but when that news was looking, and it's improved a little bit here on Matthew Stafford's back, but it was looking very murky, to put it mildly. A couple of weeks back, I took a little Houston money line in that game.
Yep.
But now, what are they going to do at running back? The offensive line is awful in Houston.
Yeah, I know. We need some more information on this Mixon thing. This is like, how long's he out? And it's just...
And all reports say Nick Chubb not close to the game guy that he once was.
And one more. There's 7 of them. I'll give you 3. System 5. Divisional road dogs of 6.5 points or less, or fewer, 67% run since 2013. That's Giants and Detroit. And I really like the Giants.
Yeah, me too. I'm coming around to liking the lines as well.
Yeah. Those are great numbers. Mackinnon always does a great job. But that's...
You know, I got to tell you, I think the Giants can... I've come around that far on that team.
To win the game?
I think they can win the game.
Sure they can.
Yeah, that's a winnable game.
Yep.
We talked to... It was Kelly Stewart yesterday. And she came on, and she's been doing this for a long time, and her like 3-legged parlay that she gives out every single week that she has fun with.
The hottie parlay?
Yeah.
She's hit some big ones.
She has. And what she said yesterday on the show, that's exactly how you got to think about it is, right? She likes to look at dogs where she thinks that she can win. They can win the games outright. That's got to be part of the equation, I think.
Sure.
In this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I like the Giants plus the points, not only because I think that's a lot of points. I think absolutely they can go there and win that game in week 1. So that's, I can't imagine the number is going to go anywhere, but if it would go down, it's not going to go back up to 7 where it was many months ago. Now
they got talent. They have a good team.
Yeah, and I
but
said
we'll see what Wilson can do. That's the one concern.
When we talked about this earlier in the show, when Spencer Rattler was named the main quarterback number 1 is what I'm trying to say for week 1.
Yeah.
I don't think I can make the case for the Saints. Can they win the game outright? At home, maybe. Certainly they can, right?
Yeah,
but do I feel like I should bet them because of that? No.
Good tweet here about a player who cost you a lot of money who never did anything again. This could also be from a fan perspective. The Tyree helmet catch. Patriots were going to go undefeated. Also, Eli was in the grasp. I should have called that in the holding.
No doubt.
But in any event, catches the ball on the side of his helmet. No undefeated season. And then if he had futures on the Patriots as well.
Who was the guy for the Cowboys? 2 INTs and Larry Brown?
Larry Brown?
Then he went on to sign with the Raiders, did nothing after that?
Yeah. Well, Neil O'Donnell threw it right to him. Yeah. MVP. Here you go. On a platter. Need a proxy? Join the world's biggest football contest with one trip to Vegas anytime before the season starts. Trusted by thousands of players over the last 9 years. Winner's Circle Proxy Service helped clients win over $9 million the last 2 seasons. Learn more about using a trusted proxy service. Visit winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN. winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN. Time running out. Get in. Let's go. We're on pace for 20,000. Derek couldn't make it in today, but they'll run it all down with Mike Palm. I think Derek can make it in before the week's over.
Is that still the pace right now? 20,000?
Last check, yeah.
What are we on pace? 22 Grandissimos.
Yep. Will we get to 30?
Now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We were trending to go
a week left.
Yeah.
Ball's in the air Thursday.
Long-time college football handicapper, friend of the show, and pro sports bettor Paul Stone on the program coming up next. He has 3 best bets for week 1, including 2 of the marquee games. He'll give you those bets next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll let college football here as a longtime friend of the show and the network. Longtime pro sports bettor college football handicapper Paul Stone joins the program, and he is on the progressive guest line. Good afternoon, buddy. Thanks for the time as always. How are you?
Oh, man, good to be with you guys, and what a great week 1 slate of games that we have. Really looking forward to it.
All right, we'll get to the 2 marquee games coming up in a minute, but let's start with this one first. And we talked about it an hour ago with Brian Edwards, the takeaway from UNLV's abysmal performance against Idaho State, a game in which the Rebels easily could have lost as a 30.5-point favorite. Was that enough for you to make a bet here on Sam Houston in week 1?
I'll tell you, it was, Mitch. I was really surprised. I've said all summer that the gulf between Boise State and the rest of the Mountain West is quite significant.
Yep.
And nothing changed my mind. What I saw on Saturday, Fresno's performance against Kansas, losing 31-7 to the Jayhawks, and then UNLV barely escaping an Idaho State team that went 5-7 last year. And just to kind of set up who Idaho State has been the last decade, they've had 1 winning record the last decade. They went 6-5 a few years back. Last year, against an Eastern Washington team that went 3-8 in their 11 games besides playing Idaho State, they gave up 77 points and more than 700 yards to Eastern Washington. Oh. And Eastern Washington only won 3 of its other 11 games at the FCS level. So Idaho State is not a very good FCS team. UNLV gives up 555 yards, over 7 yards of play. 4 Idaho State turnovers, UNLV +3 in the turnover category. They escaped 38-31. Sam Houston, they lose 41-24 at Western Kentucky. Actually led early in the second half after a defensive touchdown, did Sam Houston 24-20. But they just couldn't hold down that Hilltopper passing attack led by Maverick McIver. They have a new head coach like UNLV, got a lot of new faces like UNLV. I like their quarterback at Sam Houston, Hunter Watson, great dual threat guy. More a bet against UNLV than a bet on Sam Houston, perhaps. But I like Sam Houston. I think the line's down to 10 rather, pretty much universally now. So we'll say Sam Houston plus 10 over UNLV.
Very good. Let's go to the marquee game to start Saturday morning, Texas and Ohio State. Mr. Texas, what do you think here? As you're ready to take the dog, why do you like Texas to get it done against Ohio State?
Well, you guys probably know quite often I bet against the Longhorns or pick against them. So taking the Longhorns here, I'll tell you one thing. Some have compared the quarterback situations at Texas and Ohio State as being somewhat similar, but there's really not a whole lot similar about these quarterback situations other than the fact that these guys are first-time full-time starters. I mean, Arch Manning, his third year in the program, I mean, he has developed physically, mentally, and socially. He's never complained. He's never threatened to transfer. Played a lot of football last year behind Quinn Ewers, starting twice in Ewers' absence, threw a total of 90 passes last year. So he's well-seasoned, carefully groomed. He's ready for the moment. Julian Sayin, on the other hand, who'll get the start for the Buckeyes, a big-time five-star recruit out of California without question, but he played a grand total of 27 snaps last year. He only completed 5 passes. Those all came in mop-up time in the fourth quarter of lopsided games. He's never been in a meaningful college football game, and now, guess what? He gets to make his debut against arguably the best defense in all of college football. Colin Simmons last year as a true freshman had 9 sacks for Texas, only playing situationally. He's put on some bulk. He's bigger. He'll be more of an every down rush type player. And then linebacker Anthony Hill Jr., a consensus first team All-American linebacker last year, a guy who will be a Thursday night pick in this April's NFL draft. Those two guys, they're going to have them all over the place moving around. I think it's going to be very confusing for Sayin. I think he's going to turn the ball over a little bit. I think the Longhorns are the better team. I mean, this is an Ohio State team that has 8 new players starting on defense. They are, I mean, you can't downgrade what they've done in any shape, form, or fashion in the last decade, especially at home. 63-5 at Ohio Stadium. But they got 2 new coordinators, got a new quarterback, going up against a great defense. Texas has offensive line questions, but they have far fewer questions than the Buckeyes. Texas going to go in there. They're going to win this game. I think they're going to win by 7 or more. I like Texas plus 2.5 over the Buckeyes.
Very good. Excellent. So you're bucking the trend here, Mr. Stone, who's on the Progressive Guest Line, Paul Stone Sports on X and the website as well. Always on to talk college football this time of year. The last 6 trips to Miami, it's been vile and nasty for the Irish, losing on average 27 points per game. Why do you like the Irish at Miami Sunday night?
You know, first of all, man, this is one of 3 matchups pitting top 10 teams against one another, which is incredible to have 6 of the top 10 in the AP preseason poll playing one another. Mm-hmm. What a great opening week 1 of college football we have. From Notre Dame's perspective, no question, they've got a quarterback question. CJ Carr is a guy who was a big-time recruit. He's a redshirt freshman. He made 1 brief appearance last year. He's never thrown a collegiate pass. He was named the starter last week over third-year sophomore Kenny Minchie. But besides that quarterback position, and obviously that's the most important position not only in college football, but perhaps all of sports. But besides that quarterback position, Notre Dame is loaded at basically every other position area, both on offense and on defense. I mean, the running backs, you got 2 guys in Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. They rushed for almost 1,900 yards last year combined to average 6.6 yards per carry. Got an offensive line that's one of the best ones in college football. And their receiver room going to be better this year. I think it's going to be a top 10 caliber unit. Starts with Jaden Greathouse, a guy from Austin, Texas, who kind of had his coming out party last year in the semifinals and finals against Penn State and Ohio State, respectively, had 100-yard receiving games on both those mammoth stages. He's going to be joined in the wide receiver room this year by Malachi Fields, a transfer from Virginia, and Will Pauling, who comes over from Wisconsin, both veteran guys who are going to help that receiving room. Notre Dame, they're going to be on the short list when you look at the best defense in the country going into the year. I think they're kind of on the short list of contenders for that accolade, along with Texas and Penn State, just good at all three levels. And then you look at Miami. They lose their quarterback, Cam Ward, the first overall pick in the NFL draft, and they pick up Carson Beck out of the transfer portal from Georgia. Beck was really good down the stretch, maybe the last 5 or so games in 2023. Then, though, he had a generational tight end in Brock Bowers. He had a really underrated wide receiver in Ladd McConkey. And then last year at Georgia, without those kind of weapons, he just didn't play as well. He turned the ball over. In fact, there was a 6-game stretch last year during which Beck had 12 interceptions and was sacked 13 times. I know Miami's paying a lot of money for Carson Beck to be their quarterback this year, but I just don't think he's the answer. Got a chance of rain as well there at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday. I think Notre Dame's going to run the ball at him. I think they're going to protect Carr, let him throw safe passes. Notre Dame's just a better team. They've got a better roster from top to bottom. Again, I think if they can just split the turnover battle, they'll be quite all right. I like Notre Dame to beat Miami by 3 or more on Sunday night.
All right. Do you have a Heisman bet on anybody in those 2 marquee games you just talked about? Did you bet Arch Manning a while back? Would you bet anybody else, like a Jeremiah Love to win for Notre Dame at running back, or anybody else in those 2 teams? Beck, there's no way, the way it sounds.
Yeah, just being totally transparent, it's not something that I typically bet on, and I didn't this year. But, kind of my thought is take Arch Manning, even though he's 5-1, take him for half a unit as an insurance policy, and then take a longer shot. And in my case, it's going to be DJ Lagway at Florida. I know Lagway had health problems, injury issues last year, and there's been some question this year about whether he's 100%. But if Lagway's healthy, this guy vertically, this guy can throw the ball. He's got 2 big-time receivers in sophomore Eugene Wilson, and then true freshman Dallas Wilson's going to be a star there. So I think he can put up some big numbers. So I think Lagway's worth a shot at 28-1 for half a unit, and then Manning at 5-1. If Texas beats Ohio State out of the gate, if they're going to make the playoff when it's voted on, Manning could have some really big passing numbers, and he can also run the football. So he might have 700, 800 yards rushing and maybe 10 or 12 rushing touchdowns to complement his resume. So I think splitting a ticket on Manning and Lagway is worth a look there for the Heisman.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. I know Brett McMurphy was on last week. He said if the Longhorns win that game, like he's going to be around 3-1. I think if Texas wins this weekend and Arch Manning is awesome, he'll be closer to even money than 3-1, Paul.
Gosh, man, even money, that'd be something. But he is going to be, there's no question it would be a huge boost to his Heisman resume if they were to get that victory. All eyes are going to be on Columbus, going to be a huge game. And if he comes up big and the Longhorns win, he might be well on his way to New York.
You can follow him on X. He's at Paul Stone Sports. We'll talk to him every week during the college football season. He joined us here on the Progressive Guest Line. Thanks, Paul. We'll see you soon.
Hey, thanks for having me on. You guys have a great weekend.
Back at you. We'll see him this weekend, actually, out here in Las Vegas. We'll get into some historical results with the Heisman Trophy coming up next. Used to be a running back award. Then it turned into a quarterback award forever. Then 2 receivers won it in the last 5 years.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We talk all things gambling here, mostly sports, some non-sports gambling. For example, how about this? Phil Hellmuth, during the commercial break, he retweeted a VSiN tweet that his podcast is coming here. They're on board with VSiN. That's huge.
This is great. Phil's going to be a regular on Follow the Money. And Mike the Mouth Matisow is also a part of it. And their sports podcast will be Wednesday nights here. And as he said, the Mouth could get us canceled. They'll give out their 2 best NFL bets each week, 30-second rant, Survivor, advice
Survivor
as
for
well.
sure, yeah.
These guys, poker players, love to bet sports, and they love the NFL. And I know Phil likes the Packers, and Phil loves sports. You go to the Warrior games all the time as well. The only guy from Wisconsin to tip more than 10% as well. So it'll be great. I can't wait to talk.
You'd be embarrassed going to a restaurant with me. you'd feel so out of place, so out of touch.
When you're heavy, you come heavy?
You have no idea how I operate.
It's not a shot at you, I know. But
Okay.
I got to give a shot at the other Wisconsin people. But, and I can't wait to talk to him about the whole Kasuf debacle as well.
Oh, sure.
Because I was critical of Helmuth. I've seen Helmuth act like he did crazy stuff. Say that idiot from Northern Europe and table talk and abusing players. And then Kasuf, you got 10 seconds to act and make a decision as we're playing for $10 million. So I also want to get his thoughts on his antics. And but Phil's one of the best of all time. So this is a great day and a great job by Brian Musburger and Bill Adie embracing the podcast and a big acquisition here.
So those gentlemen are going to be, I'm going to say this. My speculation is they are going to be brilliant talking about Survivor. And I say that because remember last year, David Baker came on.
Oh, so
and
good.
it was around the Christmas slate.
Yeah, it was the Bears game.
It was the Bears Seahawks
He was deep,
game.
deep.
And his 10 minutes on the probability as a poker player and how it tied into why taking the Bears, if I recall correctly,
Correct.
was
Seattle.
such a horrible decision. And he broke it down for like 7 minutes, and it was just like award-winning stuff. It was so good. So that's what I think that show is probably going to be excellent at when it starts here, and they're going to be coming on this show as well. There's also this now, and a tweet from Las Vegas locally. There is a popular and a big casino in town debuting quadruple zero roulette. So, again, like Frank B is going to be on the show. He's in the Friday night invitational now again this year with Anthony Curtis, with Matt Humans. He's going to be on the show once a month with us during the football season. He'll be the perfect guy to talk to about stuff like that. Forget 00. Those days are long gone. And now you can say 000, hold my beer. So they're going to offer 0, double, triple, and quadruple zero roulette.
When's it going to end? When's the gouging going to end? Like, when will it stop? Like, what's the next level they can take it to?
Well,
between the $15 beers, the $24 chicken tenders, $50 to valet, even if you're staying at the property.
The valet is really just a stab. It's
what
just,
they're doing with
get
roulette.
shanked.
And yeah, right.
I would submit the alcohol prices at some point. They can't. There's no way.
Yeah.
I won't. I'm not a big beer drinker, but like a couple of like really good like IPAs, whatever, craft beer. Okay, I'm on board once in a while. I will not pay that much money for one. It's absolutely bonkers.
How do we do a complete 180?
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
the first time I came to visit, it's like, wow, the buffet's $3.99. You can get breakfast for $1.99.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's invite the people in because we want them to gamble. And that's, the free drinks, everything. And now it's just like, I'm getting robbed before I step in the joint.
How about this? A guy who I know, I'm not going to name names here, but let's just say it's not one of the high-end casinos on the Strip. 2 weeks ago, he's staying there. Take a guess what they charged for a breakfast buffet per person. Again, we're not talking Bellagio, we're not talking Wynn, it's not Cosmo, it's not close.
$39.99?
$45
Yeah, that's another one.
for the breakfast buffet.
Yeah.
Come on, be realistic here.
Yeah. Mini bar, another one.
$23
Those
for a
prices
bottle
are-
of water.
Right. Oh,
You know,
God. Yep.
in the
Those
mi-
prices. Yeah. When you tweet out the mini bar stuff, $8 for a Snickers, $23 for a water, and all this.
Enough's enough.
Uh-huh.
All right, so here are some trends when it comes to betting the Heisman Trophy. 18 of the last 23 have played quarterback. Keep in mind that this used to be a running back award. There was a stretch from 1973 to 1983 where a running back won it every year, 11 straight years. Since 2000, this is kind of the key to the handicap, I think, although it's not going to be every year, obviously. But since 2000, 14 winners have played on a team that made the national title game. Only 4 seniors have won the award over the last 17 years. Devontae Smith, wide receiver at Alabama, was a senior. Smith was also Travis Hunter became the second receiver to do it in 5 years, joining Devontae Smith. The last running back to win was Derrick Henry back in 2015. And I know we've talked about this, McMurphy had this with you, but if you want to go back even more, one preseason Heisman favorite has won the award over the last 16 years, and that was Mariota in 2014.
Yeah, he's arches up against it.
Yep. First-year starters to win in recent years, Bryce Young, 2021, Kyler Murray, 2018. And I know that there's a lot of steam here on Jeremiah Smith. He's down to 11-1 right now. That's at DraftKings the way it looks.
Now, that's wild. Because wouldn't you think they'd give it to the quarterback, though? Don't you think?
You would think.
What are his numbers? What's the record? But he's an unbelievable player, I know.
So, yeah, he was the Rose Bowl MVP last year. He had almost 200 yards receiving against – that game was over in the first quarter against Oregon.
First 7 minutes.
2 touchdowns. On the year, 76 for 13, 15, and 15 touchdowns. Those are all records for a true freshman at the FBS level. Like, what do his numbers have to look like this year? And then saying the quarterback for Ohio State is going to have to be – it's going to have to funnel it all towards him pretty much.
I think the Carson Beck number is outrageous. I wouldn't take 30-1 on Carson Beck.
There's no way.
He's 16. No way. Sellers, that's still a too low for me at 16-1 because of the schedule. Also, Levitt. I love Levitt. I love the story. Forks up. But how many people are watching Arizona State, right?
Right, I know. West Coast, that plays a lot into it.
Late games, 18-1. I mean, what they did, they jobbed McCaffrey big time. I think Simpson at 20-1 is not bad. I'm high on Mateer. But again, that's tough schedule. Can't get there. Moore's intriguing with Oregon. Well, because they could win 11 games.
That's the thing. If they win 11 games, that tells me that guy's awesome, and then he's going to be in the mix. But again, West Coast quarterback.
Right. I don't mind Carr at 35-1. I want no part of Jackson Arnold at the same price.
No way.
No way.
No, that is a hard pass right there.
And then can Underwood live up to the hype? 50-1. What can Michigan do?
Here's the thing. They get Oklahoma right away.
That's right. That game is up at DraftKings. It's 2.5.
What if they win that game and he's spectacular?
That's right.
You're
again, on your way.
These numbers will plummet after a couple of weeks. I have a like the whole West Coast thing. I know Mariota. We talked about him. He won it in 2014. But I just have this really difficult idea to grasp that if Michael Penix didn't win it for Washington a couple of years ago, what does? And I know Jane Daniels was awesome, but if you flip those guys. And Michael Penix put up the same numbers, and he played at LSU, and Jaden Daniels had the same exact year played at Washington. Who wins the award? I can't prove it, but it would have been Michael Penix playing at LSU. Would have been. And so if he didn't win it, they were undefeated playing in the national title game.
Yeah.
They beat Oregon twice.
Yeah.
They were awesome. He put up ridiculous numbers.
The West Coast bias, I mean, it's just...
So I can't get there.
The West Coast hate, I know. And the same thing with Genti. I think he got robbed.
I agree.
I think he absolutely got robbed last year.
He should have won it.
Okay, the guy has a touchdown, and it's 42-7 with 8 minutes left. They're trying to get him to pad his stats. I mean,
as Mike Palmer said, you only saw the highlights from Travis Hunter, only the good things, right? And they were replayed over and over and over again. You never saw him get scorched as a cornerback, which happened many times, and nobody wanted to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not going to see that replayed on a loop.
Yeah.
And so it's ridiculous. That's to your point of, like, we talked about Coy Parrish earlier from Minnesota, and we played a soundbite from PJ Fleck. Very aggressive. We're not gonna have kids glove on him at all. Like, he's gonna go out there and play both sides of the ball. And I brought up, could it be Travis Hunter 2.0? You said you're not gonna get the highlights on TV. That's a great point. It's Minnesota we're talking about here with P.J. Fleck at head coach, not Deion Sanders in Colorado.
Not Sanders, that's right. Absolutely. College football is finally here. Can't wait. Thursday, Boise State, South Florida, 2:30 Pacific. NFL right around the corner, a week from this Thursday as well. If you want to bet this season with an edge, now's the time to become a VSiN Pro subscriber. New members get instant access to our college football and all new NFL 2.0 betting guides packed with team previews, power ratings, betting systems, and best bets from VSiN's top analyst. You get the morning email from Bill 80, every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, the market insights, the betting systems from Mackinnon, the prop analyzer, the dog videos, the tools, the systems, $9.99, or save 50% off with an annual plan. VSiN.com/subscribe, and tell your poker friends. Welcome in the poker community with the Hellmuth and Matasound news.
My God, you're getting the entire kitchen sink there with that offer. Up next, tonight's Major League Baseball card. They have lost 11 straight games playing on the road against tonight's opponent. We'll tell you who it is coming up on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.